So it's been about a year since New Orleans changed the short-term rental laws, and thousands of people lost their short-term rental permits. And locals like me who are doing it the right way, like, lost their permits as well. Are y'all able to afford a house now? Did your landlords bring down the rent? Is the housing crisis over? And y'all swore taking permits away from local people was going to fix the housing crisis and it was going to make housing more affordable. So I'm genuinely asking, like, did y'all's rent go down? Because my mortgage went up. My mortgage went up and I don't have that extra income. Did y'all's mortgages go down? Did y'all's rent go down? Are y'all able to afford a house now?
Question: my grandma has been a resident of New York City for the past almost 5 years. I need someone to help assist me. She's facing homelessness. I wish I could bring her to my apartment. My apartment would not allow me to have her in my house for over 30 days. And I live in a studio at that. Can someone please point me to the right places, because she's a hard working older woman and she works as a HHA. What can I do for her to get housing as soon as possible? I know it's a big housing crisis in New York City. Please point me to wherever I can take her, because generally I don't want her to either go back to her country and I don't want her to be homeless.
Folks, I just stumbled upon this home building site in Tennessee and found out that almost all of these homes were purchased by an investor. And this investor is now trying to rent out these houses. They're not even finished yet. I think they're going to be finished in the next 3 months. And the investor already has them on Zillow for $2,500 a month in rent. This is something crazy going on, everyone. And folks, look at this. You can see even more houses that were just built and no one is living in these houses right now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No cars in the driveway, not a soul here on the street. And then we go to the other side, and we have even more houses under construction. And it's a signal how Wall Street landlords are still trying to get a piece of the U.S. housing market. The company that owns these homes is called Pathway, and they do something called rent to own. And this rent to own model is something that you got to watch out for, because it's a signal that the housing market is in a big bubble. And what they're trying to do is get you to sign a 3-year lease for this house behind me. And then at the end of 3 years, they're going to give you the opportunity to buy it, which is kind of funny because these investors buying these homes today took away your opportunity to buy it. So they're buying it today, making you rent for 3 years, and then saying, oh, maybe you can afford it 3 years from now.
Everybody just be so, like, excited to get, like, on housing in Section 8, thinking, oh my God, cheap rent. Well, let me tell you from my fucking experience, bitch, I'm irritated. For, like, over a month now, my electricity cuts on and off. I don't have no air right now during the fucking summertime. It's summertime. Like, my air will cut on and off right now. It's not even blowing no cold air. It's just blowing. It got to the point where it was blowing, like, I don't know what the fuck it was blowing out, but it had my floors, like, slippery. These are the type of floors I have, some tile. Had my floors all slippery and shit. My daughter didn't feel and hurt herself. And it got to the point where I couldn't cook. My food in the freezer went bad. Like, y'all, it's too much going on, and it's not all that it's be chalked up to be. And they don't give a fuck. Like, I've been going like this for over a month.
About my last post, I wanted to make a point about how it really is to live here, because I don't think a lot of people are understanding. My last house I lived in 2021 on my own, I paid $1,800 for a month. That same house is now being estimated to be rented out for $2,900 a month. That's over $1,000 more than I paid. In a more recent example, my boyfriend's mom actually lived in the same neighborhood, and about 2 to 3 months ago, they were forced out, just like I was. I was also forced to move out so they could sell it to new owners. His mom paid $1,400 a month. These new owners, because, I'm on Zillow looking for a new house, these new owners just listed his mom's house for rent. They're renting it out for $2,600. They haven't even made any changes to the house. They came in, bought it. 2 months later, they're putting it up for rent for over $1,000 more. So yeah, I really don't want to hear it, because it doesn't matter how much we work. It doesn't matter how much overtime we put in. If we're working 60 plus hours a week, this is the issue that is happening. Greedy ass landlords in Southern California, and it's been progressively getting worse over the last few years. So yeah, shut the fuck up if you don't live here and you don't know what is actually happening.
Hi, it's early and I'm completely disgusted, and I'm gonna go on a rant for a second. Like, in Massachusetts, my state, a typical single family home is now costing $1 million. Like, even if you look on Zillow or anywhere, like most homes in Massachusetts, like you can't even buy for under $500K. How on earth do you expect people to be able to afford this? Like, if you're someone who's rich and you got it, like, good for you, right? Good for fucking you. Go buy your $1 million home. But I'm talking about the average lower to middle class Americans, especially right now, given the fact that inflation is crazy. And even if you're coupled up, okay, and you both make like $70K, that's not even enough for you to even be able to afford this or survive this. They have let these corporation, head fund manager, and private equity like buy up these homes and completely like sell them or rent them in insane prices. Like, most people's take homes are averagely like 2, 3, 4, or 5K a month. You want people to be able to like, oh, have babies, make families. Like, how the hell can people even think about making a family right now if they can't even afford a fucking house? Like, a house is a basic necessity. No one is going to argue with me on the, oh, you got to work harder. Well, that's how it is. This is what you need to do. You got to work like 3 jobs. No. Everyone on earth deserves affordable housing. I know this because I'm a millennial. In the 80s and 90s, and heck, even like pre-COVID, the housing market was somewhat normal. As we started getting closer enough towards COVID, the prices went up, but it was still, you could still get a house at least under $500K. Like, it is like now for profit. Like, housing has become for profit. And that is absolutely insane to me. The governor, the mayor of Massachusetts, like, no one is helping. And this isn't fair. And for most people like myself, like millennials, like, we can't even dream, okay, of even be able to afford a house. Like, that's crazy to me. I'm praying the shit collapses. I'm praying it collapses. I'm praying that these homes get foreclosed, because there ain't no fucking way. There ain't no way no one on earth can be able to afford this.
Now 38 out of the 44 counties in Idaho, the residents can't afford the rent.
I know everybody's tired about hearing about the housing crisis, but it's been 5 years and it's still going on, and I don't know how people are surviving.
I love it.
Especially people in their 20s or 30s who are looking to get married.
And then we just make cuts to Snap.
I just think it would be unfair of me to come on here and show you guys my salary and my job and everything good in my life, and then not talk about the bad. Because I know I'm going to need a minimum of $150,000 to ever even consider buying.
Look at this place. Brand new apartment complex. They got a Italian restaurant that's coming in behind it. Just talked to a dude that lives here. $2,600 for a studio. Kid you not. Welcome to Seattle.
Never in a million years did I think I'd be paying LA or Boston prices in Nashua, New Hampshire. I grew up thinking this state was going to be like my fallback plan. You know, no income tax, no sales tax, live free or die, right? I consider myself lucky to live in a 2-bedroom with a roommate. And I hate that I have to be lucky in this scenario. This isn't just a housing crisis. This is a full-blown working class crisis. I'm spending all my time on nationwide politics and not so much on my own state, which looks like it could use a lot of help right now. 50% spike in homelessness. 66% spike in evictions. In New Hampshire. Absolutely love to hear from you if you're in southern New Hampshire or even in any part of New Hampshire. Are you struggling with rent? What's going on out there? Let's talk about it.
People have legitimately made it so awful to live in Florida. I've lived in Florida the majority of my life on and off. And I'm telling you right now, like, Florida used to be so gorgeous. We used to have mossy trees like in Central Florida lining the road of ranches and farms. And we used to have farmers markets, like huge farmers markets where you could buy fresh, cheap produce like for like pennies on the dollar. We used to have so many mom and pop restaurants of like different cultures, like so many like local Mexican restaurants, so many local like Puerto Rican restaurants, Cuban restaurants, Italian restaurants, like literally everything, Greek restaurants, so many mom and pop places from so many different cultures. It was awesome. There used to be barely any traffic in my city. Like you can get wherever you needed to go within 15-20 minutes max. And now because of overdevelopment of the land, farmers are being pushed out and a lot of their land is being bought up and turned into like apartment complexes that are overpriced. And so we have hardly any farmers market anymore. In my area specifically, there's hardly any farmers left. I know someone personally who was born and raised in Florida and their house has been bought up twice by, I think, like the state or the city or whatever, so that they could build roads where their house was. Twice in their life, once in the Panhandle, once in Central Florida, their house was bought up. Each time by force so that they could build a road where that person's house was. The fact that it happened twice just in one person's life is freaking insane. A lot of the people who were born in Florida and raised here, they're moving out because they can't afford to live here anymore because the prices are getting so jacked up on housing in general. 5 years ago, you used to be able to rent a 2-bedroom apartment in my area for like max $900 a month. Now it's $1,500 easily, $1,700 average. Not to mention, because they keep cutting down so many trees, they are destroying natural habitats, and it's getting hotter here because we have less trees. So everybody's utility bills are skyrocketing. And manatees, they're endangered now, and they're literally washing up on shore, starved, unalived, because their food sources are being destroyed by the overdevelopment of the land. Not to mention the red wave of people that moved down here during COVID because they didn't have a mask policy down here. Like, there's so many MAGA now, it's insane. And listen, I don't care if you're a Republican, like a traditional Republican, I don't care. I don't really consider myself anything, like if I have to put myself in a box, I consider myself a leftist. But I don't like the two-party system, and I've voted both ways before. But there's a huge difference between traditional conservative and MAGA. And what we have down here now in Florida is pure MAGA. And this state used to be a steady purple, and now it's a pure red. And if anybody in public knows that you voted left in any way, shape, or form, 9 times out of 10, you're going to be harassed. And don't get me wrong, there's always been like racism and like bigotry down here because it's the South. It's always been down here. But people are out and proud about it now because there's so many MAGA people down here. Like before, if you said some like messed up shit like that at work, you would lose your job and you would be publicly shamed. Nowadays, if you do it, nobody cares. You don't get in trouble for it. Now, of course, this is most of the country. I'm just saying, it's gotten especially bad in Florida. It's just overall really sad looking at what Florida used to be when I was a kid versus now.